let's go do this. Let's go on a date with someone that is not my husband. I did not expect this to be so transformative, but for a month, I took myself on a solo date once a week as an act to reconnect with myself, rediscover my wants, my desires, my creativity, and just who I am. Because for the last several years, I have been my husband's caregiver, and I've given everything to advocating and being there for him as he heals brain cancer. And since September, he only improves every single day, which has been such a blessing. And with that means that our relationship, our partnership evolves and grows and changes. And my role as caregiver gets to get smaller. And that means I have more time to figure out like what I want and who I want to be and what I want in this life and what I want my days to be filled with, because I have the space to do it. I thought taking myself on a solo date once a week would be a really great way to do that. To do the things that I've thought about doing, the things that I used to love doing but haven't done in a long time. And it has been truly a transformative experience. And sadly, I fell off taking myself on a solo date the past couple weeks, but I'm getting back on it this week because it felt so good to just do something for myself every single week, and I looked forward to it every week of like, what thing am I gonna do? But I think I'm gonna set new parameters, and more to come on that. The reason it was so transformative for me is because it allowed me to just think outside of the box and just really ask myself, what do I want to do? Not what do I need to do? What do I have to do? What does Kyle need from me? Like, just what does Rachel need? And something that I came back to was like, what does little Rachel, like the younger version of myself, what did she like to do? And infuse that into the dates. And so my dates were similar and different in all sorts of ways. My first date, I took myself cold plunging in the creek, and then I went to this amazing tea house where I got myself lunch and I sat and I just enjoyed people watching and enjoyed eating my meal. And then I got myself flowers because I always want flowers, and I could do that for myself. Who doesn't love getting flowers on a date? Perfect way to end this little self-care day. I went to a coffee shop and brought my book and finished my book and read and just drank a nice cozy drink. My third date, I went to a coffee shop again, a different coffee shop, and I brought a bunch of little arts and crafts things. So I have embroidery that I'm trying to learn. I love coloring because it takes me out of my mind. And I brought my journal, and I was there, and I just like was not enjoying myself. And I had this thought of like, I don't have to be here. If I don't want to do this, I don't have to do it. It was just like an aha moment that like I have control, and that if I don't like something, I can change it, and I don't have to be stuck in whatever decision that I made. There's always another choice, another avenue. And so I packed my stuff up and I went to the creek and I splashed cold water on my face, and I just sat there and enjoyed the sounds of nature. And I felt so calm. And then my last date, it was snowing, so I had a little solo date inside. Kyle went downstairs and did his exercises, and while he was doing that, I had the whole upstairs to myself uninterrupted, and I made myself popcorn, and I just watched a really trashy reality TV show. If you like Summer House, let me know, because it's so stupid. It is not good TV. That's what I will say. It is not good TV, but it's good because it's mindless and there's drama, but it doesn't pertain to me. It takes me out of my own experience. So those are the dates that I had, and I'm really looking forward to the dates to come. And I'm going to set a challenge because Kyle and I did this many moons ago. We did this thing called the alphabet dates, where each week or every other week, depending on how you want to do it, you take the other person. We did this as a couple. You take the other person on a date based on the letter in the alphabet. So like first being, mine was A, so I did afternoon tea, and then we went to an ashram, and then so on and so forth. And it just makes you think outside of the box. So I'm thinking of like, what are these dates that I could do in the future? And I was thinking that the alphabet dates might be a good way to challenge myself to think more creatively, but think of things that I can do solo within that frame, because Kyle and I might also do that as a way to go on dates together and do new things together. But I think it could be a really fun way to just think outside of the box and do really unexpected things. So I don't know what A is going to be, but I know what B is going to be, so maybe I'll start with B. I really want to make a beaded necklace. Like, I've been really seeing them everywhere, and I'm like, I could make one. And so maybe beading will be my first one, and going to the bead shop, picking out the beads and doing those sorts of things, and just thinking outside the box. So it could be going to a restaurant that starts with an A name, an activity like acro yoga. That would be a really good couples one. I just find that doing these things and reconnecting me with myself has really sparked a lot of creativity. I have more desire to create. I have more desire to stay off my phone. I have more desire to pull out old hobbies that I used to love. I've been getting back into sewing, and it feels so good for the soul. And it's because I've given myself space to reconnect with myself and just find me and enjoy my time with myself. And I think we all need that. I think for me, I've felt like very isolated in this experience in regards to cancer, and it might sound silly to want to do things solo, but it's like I need to feel connected to myself so that as I start to hopefully build new friendships, which is something that I'm calling in for the rest of this year, because sadly a lot of my friendships fell apart through this journey. But giving myself this opportunity to reconnect with me, I figure out what things I enjoy, and as I figure those things out, maybe I can seek out a meetup group that loves to cold plunge, or I could start a meetup group. Or I really love reading, so maybe I could join a book club or start a book club. And it's sparking these new avenues and these new thoughts of what's possible, and figuring out who I am, what I like, and what I enjoy, and then branching out from there. And I think the best way to call in the thing you want is to become the thing that you want. And so I'm just nurturing myself and giving the love and the joy and the creativity and the friendship to myself. And I believe the more that I do that, the more that will continue to come into my life. So may this be your little invitation to take yourself on a date and find you and reconnect with that little version of you and all the things that you love, and learn new things about yourself and new crafts and new hobbies and see new things. And I invite you to do it. And if you're going to do it, let me know what your first date's going to be in the comments below. I would love to know. And I will see you in the next one. I love you so much. Bye.